what lies in the shadow of the statue.
I hope it's a Twinkie.
Ooh. You will be judged. So welcome back, everyone. Storm here.
Tom here.
Kimmy here.
We're going to be watching more Lost today. We're siblings that love to watch things together. And we went into this show completely blind from the start up till now. And we are excited to see what the next episode is about. Last episode was called Dead is Dead, which we did hear that actually quoted in the episode itself. But what does that truly mean, though? I mean, Locke is very confident now because he was smiling a lot last episode because I think he knows he's won with the island, or that the island really wants him, as we know. Yeah. Because Ben was threatened.
And Dead is dead, but he's alive.
Well, I mean, if you think of any other show that we've watched where they do some kind of time traveling, you know, dead is like an anchor point in time.
Yeah.
So when someone dies, someone's always going to die. But
you mentioned that before, but this is different.
Yeah, but how can you explain Locke then?
Well, Locke's he's just
Or
cool,
is he the island now? Okay.
And then Christian too.
island.
I mean, heck, Christian died, and yet he's in this too, and people physically see him.
Is he just a vision?
Well, yeah, because they physically see him.
Yeah, people physically see him, but is he physically there?
I know, but still, like, I know, yes. Is he just a ghost or something? But they still, like, it's not just one person seeing him. Like, even Frank and Son saw him at the same time and had a discussion with him. So, and yes, other members
But no one's
saw him,
ever had any physical contact with him.
like, hugging him or something.
Or, like,
Whoa.
you know,
see him go pee
punching
or
him.
something.
Yeah.
I have to see him go pee.
And he turns into smoke.
That's right.
Who knows? But are you guys ready for this episode?
Let's roll with our theories.
Let's do it.
Yes. So we're watching episode 13 on Amazon. 513.
I'm telling you, it's a steal at 400. Thought you said it was just me.
Oh.
I meant my husband's out of the picture. It's just me and my son.
Nah, I don't know. Most of the other tenants, they don't like noise.
He's very quiet.
I need 2 months up front.
Oh, yeah.
He can already see things that happen really bad here.
God, like bad things that happens here.
He was all alone. He's scared. His chest hurt.
Honey. Oh, he's dead.
I told you.
I would remove him.
Hear him.
I ain't got time for questions, Miles. Just do it.
What the hell are you doing out there?
Just erase number 4. And if anyone asks, I'm off the grid. I'm looking for the escape Hoth.
What are you gonna do when they find out?
Do my best to cover it up. In case you haven't noticed, I'm head of security.
I need you to take this out to Radzinski at grid 334. He's going to give you something in return. I want you to bring it back to me with no questions asked.
Isn't that hostile territory?
Question.
Welcome to the circle of trust.
The floor's busy. Horace sent me instead.
Kind of accident.
He
fell into a ditch. Is that a bullet hole in his head?
Question.
Just fell on the bullet.
Take him back to Horace now, Miles.
I think it's the person.
Oh, he just has to touch
You just have
them.
to touch him, I guess.
Or you walk over him because he's just walked over bodies before.
He should go down the road a little bit.
I know.
Okay, so what really happened?
I need to see her.
Ma?
It's me.
Why did you come, Miles?
I need you to tell me why I'm this way. I need to know why you won't talk to me about my father.
He didn't want anything to do with us. So the less you knew about him, the better.
But he's
Your
grown
dad
now.
has been dead a long time.
Where's his body?
Then he can
Somewhere you could never go.
Did you bring the package?
Package, you mean the corpse?
Yeah. Now I need you to bring it out to Dr. Cheng at the Orchid.
What the hell are you doing? That's my
Guys.
man. No, dude, I just signed it out. Doesn't matter.
No,
It's
no,
mine.
no, no. He has
Where
got
are
to
you
bring a
going?
package out.
The Orchid. Me too. I made lunch for the crew.
Just say that you have a task you're supposed to go alone. I don't know.
You in some
Top
top
secret.
mission?
It's
Just get in.
Oh no, it might be dangerous.
Anyone see you? I don't think so. Did James help? Yes. Thank you so much for sending him. Of course.
Where's Ben?
Roger, if we just calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
His kid's gone.
Somebody came and took my boy out of here.
I know. I am so sorry.
I'm going to security.
Uh-oh.
Did you just, you know.
I know it's
Oh,
the,
fart,
it's
no.
It's the
Good
corpse.
stuff. Did you?
Maybe it's your famous garlic mayo.
No, that's not possible.
Uh-oh.
Okay, maybe it is possible. Pull over, I gotta check.
Forget it.
No.
Imagining things.
Dude, there's a body bag back here.
His name's Alvarez. He was digging a hole and
He found
he
out.
felt a sharp pain in his mouth, which turned out to be a filling from his tooth being yanked right out of its socket and blowing through his brain.
They have
You can talk to
superpowers. He just seemed right on the money.
Can we please just go?
He's like, I can too.
He's like, I know.
Don't worry, dude. Your secret's safe with me. So I can talk to him too. That's Labor Day weekend.
It's Hank! Tom's like,
How's that? We cremated him. Scattered the ashes.
I wonder if he can read.
What I do, it's much better if there's a body.
I just want you to ask him. Did he know that I love him?
It's gonna cost extra. Okay, now, please give me your hands. I want you to concentrate on Russell. Just get a picture of him in your head. Your son says he knew that you loved him. He always knew.
Miles Strong.
Hey!
My name's Naomi Dorrit. My employer's been following your work for some time now and is interested in retaining your rather unique services.
You know, I'm sure things are gonna work out.
Wait a minute. Why are you so interested in my kid?
I'm sorry I came over here, all right? I was just trying to help.
Oh, you're trying to help, huh?
I don't know why you won't just admit it. You can trust me. I talk to lots of dead people.
So you have conversations with them like they're your pals? What I can do has nothing to do with chatting with ghosts, you nitwit. It's a feeling, a sense. When somebody's dead, their brain stops functioning, which means there's no more talking. It's just who they were and whatever they knew before they died.
What's he doing here?
He came to deliver lunch to the work crew.
Lunch? The instructions were to come alone.
I can keep a secret.
Well, you'd better, because everything working in the kitchen is bad.
I like the kitchen.
The package inside.
Dude, that guy's a total douche.
That douche is my dad.
I kind of wondered where the twist was going to be.
You want to tell me what's back here, sweetheart?
Your audition.
Name's Felix. On his way to deliver something to a guy named Whitmore. Photos, pictures, empty graves, a purchase order for an old airplane.
To cover up the crash.
Yeah.
I'm leading an expedition to an island, and on the island is a man that will be very difficult to find. That's why I need you.
Much as hunting down a mass murderer sounds really safe, I'm gonna pass.
My employer is willing to pay you $1.6 million.
How weird is it that your dad is that dude from all those movies? I mean, back then he was called Marvin Candle. Was that like a stage name?
What part of I don't want to talk about it isn't sinking in?
Don't you want to save him?
I can't save him. They're gonna get killed no matter what I do, so...
I need you to take me to Rudzinski at the worksite. Immediately.
This room is on my rounds. What are you doing here?
I figured I'd cover for you. Heard what happened to your son. And what are you doing here at work?
What else am I gonna do? You came in here a couple days ago with that woman, Kate, right?
I'm beginning to think that she's got something to do with this.
I should go to Horace.
No.
I think, Roger, that you've had a hell of a day, and that it's given you a very good excuse to go out and get drunk. Maybe that's put some crazy ideas into your head.
We should all get together for a beer sometime. How awesome would that be?
You don't need to wait. I'll get it right back with Rudzinski.
Dude, what is this place? What's up with all the secrecy?
Don't know. Don't care.
I know the numbers.
8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
You've seen this.
42.
42.
How the hell did you know that? Because they're building our hatch.
Hey, Miles.
Do I know you?
Hey, you didn't let him. You just didn't.
And we had to try our best to talk you out of working for Charles Widmore.
I have no idea who that is.
He's the man who chartered the boat you'll be getting on next week. Do you know what lies in the shadow of the statue?
Can't say that I do.
Then you're not ready to go to that island.
You want me to pass on going to the island? It's going to cost you double what they offered. $3.2 million.
All the money in the world, isn't gonna fill that empty hole inside you, Miles.
So your dad, is he around?
Yeah.
You know, when we came from, the future? You know, maybe he'll let you hold baby you, or you can change your own diaper.
Whoa! Listen up. I don't want to hang out with my dad. I don't want to know him better. Why am I even telling you this?
Because you're in pain and you need to let it out.
I'm not in pain. It doesn't matter. My father is dead. He's gone.
Who's not gone? You just dropped him off.
A little spy robot thingy zips through the atmosphere and crashes into the snowy planet below.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
I'm running Empire Strikes Back.
I'm sorry, what?
It's 1977, right? So Star Wars just came out. And pretty soon George Lucas is going to be looking for a sequel.
That has got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, yeah? Well, at least I'm not scared to talk to my own dad.
Ben's father thinks that Kate had something to do with his son going missing.
Why the hell would he think that?
Because she talked to him, tried to make him feel better.
Thanks for filling me in, Doc.
No problem.
Hey,
We got a development.
Phil, I've been running around the jungle all day. So whatever development you got can wait a while.
I know who took the kid.
You.
Oh, damn.
Perfectly good explanation for what you said that tape.
Sure as hell hope so.
Talked to Horse yet?
No. Thought that after 3 years of working together, I'd give you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, there you go.
There's your benefit.
Rope.
I lied to you, Mr. Gray. I wasn't able to talk to your son.
You could just let me go on believing what you said.
It wouldn't have been fair to your son. If you needed your son to know that you loved him, you should have told him when he was still alive.
He's taking it personally.
Yeah.
Sorry I said you were afraid to talk to your dad, dude.
Don't worry about it. My dad didn't leave when I was 10. I was a baby. I never knew him. I don't want to.
How'd it happen? Because he was such a good dad here.
Did the mom do something? Like maybe it was just her decision?
Miles, I need you.
You do?
Need me? Oh.
Subs in from HQ. I need your help bringing them in.
Can I get a hand with this? Yeah, sure.
Dan.
How do you know me? Oh, he knows.
Huh?
Long time no see.
And we know he's been there before. So he knows something that we...
He's been missing for a while, so
yes,
it's cool to
he
see him
has.
again. So what do you think?
Oh, Miles. Miles had a very terrible childhood as far as, you know, not knowing his dad, what happened. Like, he's seeing him now himself as an infant. Mm-hmm. His father is very engaged. I mean, we saw a few episodes before, you know, his mom would say, oh, it's your turn to, you know, take care of the baby, feed the baby. I mean,
Well, he's seen two different sides of his father. He's seeing an aggressive scientist guy.
When he's working, he's full on work and not a nice boss.
Yeah.
Very demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Polar bear poop.
And a very loving father behind doors.
And Miles finally saw that, so...
Yeah, that was emotional for him.
Hopefully that's going to change his perspective on it.
I always love this show for showing a lot of the past with most of the characters, especially because Miles, we were so unsure of him for a while, and we liked how, like, sarcastic he was in a lot of ways and how insulting, but it was kind of funny and not so funny in other times. But to actually see him, like, really have an issue never meeting his father before, like, that's huge.
Yeah, and even at his mother's deathbed, she refused to tell him how his father died, where he is, because she knew that he would want to touch the body and find out how he died or his past life.
Yeah, and to not even say, because I'm assuming at this point that his mom knew about his powers, or like she was freaked out at first, but the fact that on her, I don't know if it was her deathbed or not, I mean, she was very sick, so I'm thinking it was, but how, you know, he's saying something about, well, you know, I want to know why I am this way, and I'm assuming that means his powers, and then here, like, I mean, of course, like, him not knowing that, you know, his father died, like, that really sucks. you know, not to even just know that and always have in the back of your mind, you know, that he's around. Like, that sucks that he didn't know sooner. And we know there's something really bad that happened between his mom and his dad. But was it mainly her choice? Because we're seeing how, you know, how rude his father can be as a scientist, like you said. And so we're kind of judging that. And he's been away because he's on the island doing this job for a long time. So why did he leave? Was it his choice, or did his wife run with the baby and he couldn't leave the island at the time?
I'm wondering if maybe they were forced off the island for some reason.
Maybe because it was such a high-powered job, highly classified, that he had to have her leave the island with Miles. Without, and she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know what he actually does do. And it's so highly classified that, like, you're safer off the island than on. So maybe that's why he forced her to leave.
I wonder if it has something to do with the hatch being built, though, because Hurley made a comment saying that, you know, after they built the hatch, there was an accident. Now there's a computer that you have to put in the sequence of numbers in order to keep the, you know, world from ending.
And that also made their plane crash.
Right, because of that magnetic field or whatever it was.
And that guy died.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if something happens or is going to happen at the hatch that's going to cause them to, you know, evacuate non-personnel. And then she's probably going to feel like, why do you have to stay for? Why don't you come? And he's going to feel like, it's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's going to feel like he has to, and she's going to feel like he's abandoning them.
Yeah.
And she's going to be very bitter for the rest of her life about it. And she is. I mean, right to the day she dies. She doesn't want to tell her son how her, you know, anything about his father and anything about how special he is.
Yeah.
So does his father have, you know, can he
speak
to the dead too?
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that, you know, he's, you know, with the way his mother has been acting every time they talk about the father, he probably has a negative perspective, like something, like he did something to her.
Right.
You know, and that's why I think he has such a negative, like, I don't want to even know this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you do that to a mom and an infant? How can anyone leave a mom and an infant like that?
And
so I'm hoping that this, you know, kind of opens up the light for him and he actually sees it for himself.
I hope so.
He already started to, so.
Yeah, and he only has his mom's side, and you know, it's hard. I can't imagine, but you know, she's spiteful right in front of him, so that's all he knows of his father.
Right.
Like, not only did
only
he
that one side.
Yeah. Not only did he leave at, you know, when I was so young, but mom is so spiteful and didn't even think it was worth me knowing about him. So that's the only response he's ever had about his father, like not actually knowing details. And the fact, again, going back to what he said on her deathbed, like, you know, I want to know who I am, or he was kind of like relating a bit about his powers. I felt like maybe she did know something, even though she was spooked when he was so little, having that and like communicating, not with the dead, but, you know, he can see stuff beforehand and during, after death too, though. So that's another tangent I want to get into, but the fact that if she knew something on, you know, connection with that power, with the dad, and she still didn't tell him, I kind of feel like she knew something there, you know, because she just kind of dismissed that conversation and just
said it didn't even go back to that conversation, which is very sad. And he was really opening up to her. He really wanted to know, and he was really asking, like begging her almost to know about his father and what about him, about his powers. Really, he didn't say powers, but about, you know, his insight. And for her not to say anything to him, I feel so bad, and that's why he's so guarded to this day. Even Hurley trying to get to him, which he does it in such a loving way, and, you know, he really can talk to anyone about anything. He has that knack. But he did get to him a little bit, you know. Miles did open up, you know, and he went back to that last client, that dad, that wanted to know, to make sure that his son knew that he loved him. And Miles was right up front with him. You should have told him that when he was alive.
Yeah. And
for him to give back the money, so Hurley did get to him, and did make him understand that, you know.
Now, who do you think has the better powers, Hurley or Miles? I mean, they're both different in a way.
They're
It's
different.
Like one's before and one's after they die.
I mean,
yes,
when Hurley
during
my rant there was that he said, well, they're brain dead afterwards, so there's no way they can think beyond it. And I understand what he's saying, but still, to be able to activate their brain when they're dead to see what happened previously is still activating their brain when they're dead to visualize it. So either way,
and it's really not true because when he was a child, when that guy died in the apartment, he was still hearing him talk when he was dead.
Yeah,
right?
and just like every other time we see him, though, it's the body's the person's always dead anyways.
Done, yeah.
So it's like him saying that like the brain's dead and you can't communicate afterwards. Like I'm like, well, you are communicating with him technically, even though you're not having conversation in the present time. You know, you're still like seeing thoughts and images of what happened just before they died. So he sees that even though it's happening after. But Hurley
sees the afterlife.
Yeah, like them going beyond that and actually having discussion afterwards.
Yeah, because when Hurley sees him, the spirit is separated from the body, so there is no physical body.
True.
So he's talking to the person's essence, I guess I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why he's able to have full conversations with him.
How phenomenal are they together if they worked together?
Maybe like the Ghostbusters, only they're not busting ghosts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep the
Ghost
Dharma
talkers.
Detectives.
Keep the Dharma uniforms because.
But
looks like it too.
Yeah, and Miles in the past when he went to Hank, I love that here, Breaking Bad. Yeah, we just love him. Yeah, when he went up to him, you know, because again, that was a reminder as well, as we know, that he can't speak to the dead afterwards. Like it's always the stuff that happened before. So he just kind of plays along because he's into money too, which I get. But
all about money.
Yeah, he's all about money.
He did say to the father, "It's like this works better if I have a body."
Yeah.
So I mean, he was telling the truth. If he could touch the body, he can get more
information, but he wouldn't be able to ask him if he understood his dad loved him. He can't,
because he only senses the feelings.
And another thing too, prior to his other clients he had, remember that woman with the son that died, and he went up to his room and he could feel him. He understood what was going on just through his belongings in his bedroom.
He was also looking for the stash of cash that he had.
Yeah, but still, I thought he was going to say to the dad, do you have anything about him of what he had before he died or whatever?
Yeah.
I thought that would be
is his
more
room still available?
To make it more believable.
Him going back to, the dad and saying, like, it doesn't happen that way and he gave all the money back. I mean, I get, like, him actually feeling guilty about it, and I'm glad he went back and actually redeemed it in a way. And it's not good to lie about that kind of stuff. I know he just got used to doing that, but it did give the dad some closure, but it wasn't real, It
wasn't real, and if the dad
really
wasn't a good dad...
Yeah, I'm saying, but the father didn't know that, so he felt closure.
Yeah, but in reality, Miles is telling him it's making you feel better, but it's not making him feel better. He's gone. He would have felt better dying, knowing his father died. He died, knowing his father loved him. So it's making you feel better. Why should I make you feel better when it's really he's hurt still?
Yeah, because he's taking it more personal.
Yeah.
Too, because it's like, well, you should have made the effort to say something,
right?
Well, it's kind of like the same thing that happened.
It's a reality. It's a harsh reality, and the father.
Well, it's what happened to Miles. I mean, Miles, his father disappeared and died. Yeah, without him getting any type of sentiment.
Right, exactly. And now he's seeing face to face that how his father was with him as an infant.
Yeah. Ooh,
3 months, so it must be very close that they separate because the baby.
Well, that's why I'm thinking the hatch, because they're right in the middle of getting the door ready. So I'm thinking the hatch has something to do with it. Plus, it has those numbers put on it, which we all know is a curse in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Hurley explained it to Miles, that that will be our hatch, like it just sounds easier to say it that way than these cursed numbers that have been haunting him and their bad luck for so long.
Which we still don't know. We still don't know what the numbers mean.
We just know they're taboo or something. That
because according to the construction workers, it's just a serial number. I mean, I know it's a pretty good coincidence, but
yeah, and we see the numbers a lot. We saw them with
throughout the whole
series. Then lotto tickets and
we've seen it
many places
often.
And even Hurley's friend, like with the Connect Four and like talking about the numbers, like they've always been around and they're like a taboo set of numbers. So. it's always a weird connection, but we still don't know. We don't have a lot of answers still.
Yeah,
but,
and then he was kidnapped, so to speak. Not kidnapped, but just like taken away for a little bit, not finishing his fish taco, to say, hey, don't go with Charles. And we're not going to offer you any money. So, of course, he's going to go because the money is there.
Yeah, I mean...
And the key thing is, they said that quote. They said,
yes,
what lies in the shadow of the statue?
That's right.
So it's coming back. So do they have the sickness? And they said, well, if you don't know that, then you're not ready to go to the island. So is that a good thing to know, that quote? Because, you know, Elena got aggressive with Frank saying that, right? So... And we've seen it with the sickness. I don't remember if everyone said it with the sickness, but I'm relating it to that. So I just don't think it's a good thing anyway.
Well, as soon as, you know, he answered no to that question, they kind of kicked him out.
Yep, tossed him out.
So it's kind of like what happened on the beach. You know, when they asked I want to say Lupinas, but...
Frankie boy. Frankie boy.
When they asked Frank, they kind of had that same abruptness to it once he's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it.
So
knock him out.
More and more questions, but you know, I'm glad to learn more about Miles, and I'm curious if he's going to try to make a bond with his father.
I bet you he will, but I bet you it'll be like last minute before shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Hopefully, he can actually tell him who he is down the road. That would
just get some kind of closure.
They're already messing up history, anyways. I know they say things are going to happen differently, but then. This
are they really
apparently happen already, so I don't know, but I hope he can talk to his dad.
And going to James, I mean, now we have a couple of breaches in the security.
Yeah,
he knocks out one of his guys.
Yep.
Well, shit's going down pretty quickly now.
Yeah, and Ben's dad is kind of, you know, leery on Kate, so I mean, it's gonna all come to a head soon, I'm sure.
I know, suspicious, not good. So can't wait to see the next episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye, guys.
Bye. Don't be polar bear feces.